Hello, certified personal trainer, certified corrective exercise specialist, and yin adaptive and restorative yoga instructor Sammie here to give you my thoughts on propped versions of poses or exercises and alternative exercises uh, and modifications. And I'm going to start by telling you that none of those are a lesser version of whatever it is to me. And I'm a big believer in people who I work with, my clients. I'm a big believer in choice, and I give people a couple different options on whatever we're doing. Um, multiple things that will target, let's say, the bicep. Let's say, stretch the lower back. Uh, you know, and things that multiple things that will provide cardio. I provide different options for a warm up, and I will tell people, this is what these different things might have, might do differently. Like this might also target another area as well. You might feel this here as well. If you have low back pain, you might want to take this one. But that person is in control of their sessions with me. And as far as that goes, I'm providing options that all fulfill a need of the client, and I'm letting them have that choice and that autonomy. And I think that like a modification, a prop, doing push-ups on the knees, or having my hands on blocks in a lunge, or using a resistance band instead of a weight. These aren't lesser versions. It's finding what gives me the benefit of the exercise and works for my body. We all have different length bones. We all have different range of motion. We all have parts of our body that have more comfort or more discomfort in certain positions than someone else in that same position. And something to think about when it comes to these props and modifications is I don't hear a lot of people. I've never thought that I was meditating wrong because I was sitting on a cushion to do it. I never thought of, I'm doing yoga wrong because I'm doing it on a mat. I'm riding a bike wrong or I'm doing a lesser version because I brought the seat up, because I changed the height of the seat or the bars. And that's what using a strap for a stretch instead of grabbing it with my arms. It's the same sort of thing. And these also, I'm in a place, I used to be very anti-prop, and I used to not I used to not use props, and I used to do immediately find like what is the hardest version of the thing. That's what I'm doing. What is what is the thing that the person I am watching is doing? That's what I have to do. And when they would provide something like folding forward onto a bolster, which is something I actually only do now, because I've learned that just because I can go very deep in a forward fold doesn't mean that I should. It doesn't mean that it's always what my body is asking for. And so these modifications, these props, they aren't just for people who like physically just the body won't do that. But they will also provide just alternatives for people who I can do push-ups. I can do a plank push-up, no issues. But sometimes I'm I'm fucking tired. Okay? Sometimes I know that I have other stuff that needs to get done today. And I'll do a negative push up. I'll go down in a plank and I'll come up on my knees. And a lot of times when I'm teaching people, I will purposely be doing one of the modifications. So that these aren't abnormal. Them as options, I think should be the norm. I used to be very anti-prop, and now I forward fold onto a bolster, whenever I'm doing any sort of butterfly forward fold, straddle forward fold. Um, and yeah, and I make sure people know that like you never have to look like me. Uh, my twist and your twist are not going to be the same because our bodies are not the same, and they're never going to be the same, and that's amazing. Um, there was a first person to to do yoga on a mat, and there was a first person to use this kind of mat. Uh, it was and you doing yoga on a mat is the norm now. But there was a first yogi to do that. Um, it's and I think that finding what works for our bodies, by me demonstrating what works for my body in a class, I hope that I'm helping people feel that it's okay to find what works for their body. Um, it's I'm a big believer that like accessibility, it's for everyone. Okay? A if I'm if I can't make an appointment, I reschedule the appointment. Okay? It's like how a virtual visit isn't just for a disabled person, but it's for the person who can't travel that far today, the single parent who can't get there at that time. Okay, and that's also what a block is for. It is, um, and they also props and these alternatives they give me a variety of sensation. They let me. I don't actually know always if my body would benefit from a prop or a different pose, or a sphinx instead of a cobra, until I do it. And yes, I know a lot of these things. Well, they have specific benefits. They hit areas that the other one doesn't hit, and I understand that, and that's why I will always also provide those as an option. Um, but yeah, I invite people to use props, and I don't show people every version of a pose or an exercise because I don't know them. I don't. There are as many versions of a march or a forward fold as there are people. Okay, it's you can't get your leg in a march to 90 degrees or to higher, then just step to just take some steps. Well, thank you for sharing space with me, taking time out of your busy day to listen to my rambling, uh, and just thank you for being here. Thank you for being you, and you're doing an amazing job, uh, even if it doesn't feel like it. Even if you're using a prop. That's it for me. I hope you have a wonderful day.